Hello darts fans and welcome to Modus Moments. This place has provided us with many a highlight over the last few years, and what we're going to be doing is we are going to be looking at some of the biggest moments over those last few years. Could be big checkouts, could be massive amounts of 180s, huge victories, so stay tuned, we've got plenty coming your way. Hello darts fans, we are here at the MODUS Super Series and we're going to be talking about Modus Moments, and who better to talk to than the Series 5 champion, Jim McEwan. Jim, it's always great to speak to you. You've had a great deal of joy with us here at Modus over the last few years. But even before we came to Portsmouth, you had a great deal of joy in our previous studio.
Yeah, I always tell everyone I actually prefer the Southampton venue to this. This is brilliant. I still love it, but Southampton was good to me. Yeah.
You won a Champion of Champions event just before we moved here. It was about 2 months beforehand. Around about that time, you were playing some wonderful darts, weren't you?
Yeah, every time it appeared, I was always favourite to win, which was a bit weird for me. But yeah, I remember that the final against Conan Whitehead. Yeah, Southampton again, always played well there.
When you first came here, what were your first impressions of this place?
I had seen some pictures as it was getting developed from another player, and I thought, this is it. It's good. It's looking great, and I can't wait to be there. But yeah, it's superb.
We've just seen some footage on the screen there of you playing against Justin Smith. Obviously, in the early days, it looked a little bit different to what it is now. But what has changed from those early moments to now?
Behind the scenes has probably changed more than anything else that I can see. I mean, when I come here, although it's nice and it looks brilliant, I don't see anything. I see a dartboard, but I know the technology behind it has come on and on through the last 2 or 3 years.
A few series in, you were seen as one of the biggest threats. But in Series 5, things would change a little bit because you would win week 10. What are your memories of winning that week? We've got some footage of it here.
Yeah, it was against Jim Long. Yeah, he's a good friend. That was a hard week. I remember that. But again, they're all hard weeks anyway. I've played Jim after that at the seniors, and he got his own back. So.
Is that week a case of you didn't play your best leading up to the Saturday, but saved your best for the Saturday?
Yeah, that's right. And my wife will tell everybody, oh, he played rubbish that week until the Saturday night. So the likes of the young boy through there just now, she was giving him advice about this. Doesn't matter if you play well all week, get to the Saturday, then do your stuff.
We were just talking off camera about the focus of a top dart player is one of turning up and switching on this game mode, which is almost like an autopilot for a plane. And that sometimes causes you to not remember a great deal when you're in battle, but you do remember the Champions Night of Series 5.
Yeah, I didn't start too well. I think Moreno beat me 4-1 or something in the group, the small group. Then I had to play Darryl. Moreno beat Darryl as well, so it was a shootout between me and Darryl. And yeah, that was a good game. I enjoyed that one.
Looks like you're in a little bit of disbelief, winning the final by 4-0,
yeah,
as if to say.
Well, it's the biggest moment in my life, in a dart sense. I don't know how to celebrate and stuff like that. I just do my thing, and it was good. It was good that Luke was there as well.
Yeah, he was the defending champion at the time. It was really nice of him to turn up that night and to hand you the trophy. I suppose, in retrospect, that moment has grown because of what he's gone on to do.
Sadly, I'm at the wrong end of the scale for any ideas about that sort of thing. But yeah, it just shows you what can happen. But Luke was seriously good long before he came here. I think that most people knew where he was going. Recently,
with Danny Van Tripe, we had someone who hit a 9-darter on a Saturday night, but you could have been the first person to do that as well.
Yeah, double 12, yeah, I missed it. Yeah. It was against Tudbridge.
It was pretty close.
Yeah, yeah.
You do see a lot of 9-dart attempts these days with a little bit of a disruption, whether it's a drop dart or something like that.
And that's hard to do because your concentration's gone again. But my mindset, I think, is good for that sort of thing.
Do you think people underestimate your 180 prowess?
Yeah, I don't know, because it's always getting talked about when I come here, how many I hit. I couldn't even tell you how many I hit yesterday. I knew it was a few, but for the day, I don't know.
Well, this is the shot for the double
yeah.
12. It's not far away. It
They
actually moved the wire.
Yeah. I actually thought it was further away than that. No, it is what it is. 180s don't always win you games, and I know that. With my 9-darter on the Pro Tour, hit one of the first leg against Barney, 5-2 up, and then I got beat. So it doesn't always win you games.
Just a couple of series ago, we did see you in a secondary group, and you set a new record for a daily or a group average. This record has stood for a good couple of series now. Over 97 for a group. That's an elite level player.
Again, I didn't realise that was one of the records I held. But yeah, it's good to hear, and it's good to do as well. And it shows you that I've still got it even at 58.
Yeah, 97.43 for an entire week. That's the kind of stuff that people have got to try and strive for, and you've already done that. And you've done that by missing a few darts at double, but not too many.
No, but a consistency thing's the problem with people. I mean, if I can do that all the time, well, you'd be in the Premier League, wouldn't you? Yeah. But a consistency is I'm struggling with that at the moment. But no, keep going and try and sort it out.
Moving forward, when it comes to this place, is it difficult shouldering the pressure of being someone who's won this to try and win it again?
No, not at all. It's just a pleasure to come here, and I'm always grateful to MODUS for the invites. I know the ADC is a big thing to get here now, but my nearest vault is 25 miles away, so it's not practical for me. Yeah. So I really appreciate the invites.
Is it easy for you to say to me right now that your greatest memory is winning Series 5, or is there something else that sticks out?
No, that's the biggest thing I've won. Yeah. I've done well this year. I've won 3 WDF ranking events. I've got 5 altogether now, and it looks like I'm getting lakeside this year. But this is the pinnacle for me anyway.
If you were to go on and win another series, do you think that would eclipse the first one, or does the first one always mean a bit more? Yeah,
because I'm sick listening about Luke winning 2. So I want to win 2 now. Yeah, no, it'd be fantastic. Yeah, I think it would eclipse it, because as you say, yeah, you do get a bit of pressure because you've won one. I don't feel pressure, but there's pressure there. I don't feel it so much. But no, it'd be fantastic to win it again.
Well, every now and again, Jim, you do scare us with the Chucky on the back of your shirts, and you scare us with your standard. But it's been an absolute pleasure watching you over the last 12 series. We know there's going to be more success for you. We wish you all the best for the future, and we can't wait to see more 180s and possibly one of those 9-darters on a Saturday night. That was Jim McEwan. That was MODUS Moments. It's great to have the players alongside us. He's got to go and play now. I've got to go and talk about it, but stay tuned to Pluto TV. We've got more MODUS Moments coming your way. They were the MODUS Moments from Series 5 champion Jim McEwan, and now it's time to fast forward a little bit, because now we're going to be talking to the Series 10 champion, Jensen Walker. Hello darts fans, it's MODUS Moments time once again, and this time we're going to be speaking to the Series 10 champion, Jensen Walker. We're not just going to be talking about the times where you have won here, Jensen. We want to talk about the whole journey. And we're going to start with when you first came here to this grand place where you would eventually become a champion. What were your first impressions of this place when you came here?
So really, it was kind of, when the MODUS started, it was this big ambition to try and get onto the MODUS stage. I was kind of in that situation where I was kind of, I was doing a little bit of ADC stuff, not too much, because I knew I was doing WDF things and JDC things and all the things that come with it, so I couldn't really commit fully to, all the tours. So I was kind of just trying to apply my way on the challenge tours and Q School, but luckily I had a good first couple of weeks of the year. Qualified for the UK Open, and I'm out on the challenge tour, and then all of a sudden an invite comes through, and all of a sudden, only 1 or 2 people in the whole area of Warwickshire, and obviously Warwickshire's a hotbed for darts anyway, and only 1 or 2 people in Warwickshire had an invite. And played on MODUS at that point, so it was really an honour, and yet it was just kind of, I didn't really have any expectations, to be honest.
First game you had, and not everybody wins in their first game because it takes them some time to get going, but you played a seasoned campaigner in Michael Huntley, and you would win this game. And here's a little clip of it. That must feel really good, getting yourself off to a winning start.
Yeah, it was a brilliant feeling. From the moment I stepped foot on the stage, really, I felt pretty comfortable. I felt good in my game. It's probably when I first started playing. It was probably the start of my when I started to I could feel the improvements being made, and I could feel the gap being closed between me as probably just a county player at the time and being that little bit better. I could feel the gap starting to close up a little bit, so I felt comfortable. But yeah, it was a great win to get against Mike, really, because he's a nice guy, but it sends out statements when you first come here. You know, it sends out statements.
You would make it to Saturday on debut, and it would be a rather eventful evening. You'd play against Dave Cameron, one of the best players in North America. He has one of those moments, taking out 127. That must feel pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was a really weird night, to be honest. I think I remember in one of the legs, I think I left a double after 12 and didn't take out in 27 or 24, something like that. If I remember rightly, it was a really weird night. It was a bit of a gutting night to take, obviously, but that's the name of the game, you know. I knew where I was at the moment, and I knew finals night was probably above where I expected to be. I knew I could be there, but it was probably above where I expected to be at the time. So it was just nice to get there, to be honest.
Was it important for you to just get a sample of what a Saturday night was like, just to get that little bit of experience to grow?
Yeah, I suppose to a degree. You know, it's always at that point. It's always nice to try and expose yourself to as much as what you possibly can. You know, 'cause it's only when you push yourself, you realise really how far you can go.
There would be disappointment before winning a week would come. So was it a case of you having to learn to lose before learning to win? Because what we're going to show you next is something that I'm sure will make you smile. Something that is very iconic in this building. One of the best weekly wins that we've seen in 2025. I mean, shots like that against a legendary player like Simon Whitlock, that must make you feel really proud of yourself.
Yeah, that was a really big night. I remember talking to Adam Mole when we walked into the room, obviously, because it was obviously me and Adam who had kind of come through very similar upbringing. Myself through youth, but I mean through that kind of local kind of scene. We kind of took that rise at similar times to a degree. Adam maybe a year before me or so, but I remember talking to him when all the players were out the room. It was just me and Adam in the room, and I remember him saying to us, he said, "We've got nothing to lose tonight. Me and you are practically the nobodies here." We are the people nobody expect to win, and we were. Everything said the same. If anyone was the unknown entities, it was me and Adam Mole, really. And so it was really nice to have the final against Adam. It was a great night, and you get that feeling. You get that feeling in your bones. You almost feel like it's your night. You feel like things are coming at the right time, and you feel things are going to slot into place, and they did.
When you won your week, obviously you'd go through Andy Hamilton, Simon Whitlock, Adam Mould, who's been an ADC #1 for longer than anybody. That's a week that a lot of people will never forget because of who you went through. But the only way things would get better would be if about 8 weeks later you came back and won the series, and that actually happened.
Yeah, it was a really great week from start to finish. Obviously, I think the only day I really played poorly was the Monday. I won 1 game out of 5. Even then, I was okay, but I wasn't good enough. Tuesday to Friday, I thought I played brilliantly. I only got 2 wins out of Tuesday, and I thought, I think I averaged 90 for the day. So it's just about timing things and trying to trust the process and hoping it will work out, because there's never a guarantee in this game. You can play well and lose very easily on this stage every day you come here.
You talk about process, and that's something that we've monitored with you over the years, because even though you're still a young man, you've got quite a lot of experience for such a young person, but process is something that has been very deliberate with you on this stage, particularly in a semi-final with Scott Campbell, because in this moment, it's 3-3. You step back after a couple of darts here and you think to yourself, well, I've got to change something. What was going through your mind here?
First time all week I've been nervous, to be honest. So it was kind of, everyone knows if I'm nervous, I'll take as long as I need to take to throw. It's not personal. I'll do it to every single person when I'm nervous, and that's just it's something I'm pretty commonly known for. If I will literally take as long as I need. If I need a minute, I will take a minute to throw it out. Because I'm just one of them players. If I need to go through a process, I will, and I train myself for those processes in practice. I work through them processes. I've been through, breath work. I take breath work exercises. For when I face these situations, I work a lot on that side of the game. So when I'm nervous, I take them breaks up. So it was the only time I needed it in that week, and it's safe to say it worked.
It did in the final as well. Sam Spivey was fancied by a lot of people in Champions Week because he'd been growing in reputation throughout the course of the series, but it would be your moment. And it was this start that was the iconic one for the series, because you've almost covered that double eight, and without hesitation this time, you take it out to get the jackpot. Yeah,
I mean, it was that blocked. I didn't even bother moving over. I saw absolutely no benefit in moving over because it was so far blocked. The second dart, I could see it in my head now. The second dart kicked over so much. Even if I'd have moved over to the end of the stage, it would have made no difference. It would have still totally been blocked. So I just thought I could just try and power it through, hopefully shift the dart a little bit, and it might go in if I'm lucky. And well, I was lucky. If he hits that, it could change the game. I'm going to the sixth leg thinking I've threw that leg away, and he's going in thinking, well, I've howled 2 more for the win. So he's thinking I've only got to hold 2 legs together. So it was kind of would have been an awkward situation to be in.
You told us at the end of the night. Lastly, did you celebrate with a burger and chips?
No, the burger shop was closed.
Shame on them.
Shame on them, exactly.
Well, at least you got the £25,000 in the trophy. Well, many congratulations, and thanks for staying with us, Jensen. More glory coming your way, I'm sure, and more Modus moments coming your way as well, so stay tuned. It's time to go back in time now, because from Series 10, which was won by a certain interceptor, now we're going to look at somebody named Taylor, who won just a few months before. Hello, darts fans. Modus moments coming your way once again, and we're delighted to have the Series 6 champion here, Scott Taylor, all the way from Lancashire. Scott, you've had many memories in this building, but I want to take you all the way back to Series 2, well before you became a weekly champion, because you played a rather iconic player here on your debut, and that was against a certain Robert Thornton. What was it like to come into this building? You've played in many big arenas in your career, but playing here in the silence against a legendary player like Robert, what was it like?
I remember coming down wondering what it was going to be like, but I can't really remember too much about it. But I think I lost my first 2 games and then I won the rest of them, I think. But playing Robert's always tough, top player, and he's just how he is a bit tough to play against sometimes. But yeah, it's always good to play someone like Robert. Just
for the people watching this who might get a debut match here in the future, just how eerie is it in here for the first time? Because you've played Players' Championship events before, but there's that little hum of noise in the background. You don't get that here, do you?
No, never. Just sirens outside, and that's about it. That's all you hear. It's different. I spoke to one of the lads yesterday, and he was saying it's quiet in here. But yeah, it's different to anywhere else. It's good if you get used to it. Just enjoy it, I'd say.
Things have evolved in this place as well, because even the practice room has moved. It's a little bit bigger now. The whole experience has changed, even for people who were in our previous Southampton studio, and you've seen the growth of this place. Just how much does this place mean to you now?
It's pretty much the only place that I play now, but it's a massive part of where I am, and it's good to be. I'm privileged to be invited back.
Your first weekly win came in Series 3, so you didn't have too long to wait between debut and winning. And you played rather well in that final.
I did, yeah. I don't know what it is about. I don't think I've ever lost to Andy on this stage. I played him quite a lot on here as well, and I've just seemed to get better of him every time I played him, but he's some player in here, so you have to play well.
That's a wonderful double eight right in the middle there for the first weekly title. There would be more. We'll get onto those in due course, and it just goes to show how long ago this was. You got a novelty check that night from Glenburn.
I remember taking it off and just putting it on the table. What have I just done? But yeah, it's definitely the biggest part of my career.
That was the first weekly win. Obviously, you've mentioned the way you played against Andy Bolton, but when it came to series number 6, you and I spoke quite a lot over the course of 2 weeks. because you were here for 2 straight weeks. I asked you what your energy levels were like at the end of week 12, and you said you were pretty much cooked. But then you had to stay around and do the Champions Week as well. So tell us about week 12 of Series 6.
It was definitely long. I was lucky to have Abby here, like she coached me through it and just helped me to stay grounded and focused on what I was doing. But yeah, I remember going back to work on the Monday, just died in the toilet for most of the day. So yeah, it was hard.
You beat John O'Shea 4-0 in the final, so another 4-0 scoreline for you. John's obviously someone who's very vibrant and very passionate, but winning week 12 and sticking around, it just goes to show that it wasn't just weekly titles that you craved. You wanted to go that one step further, and this win here against John gave you that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. I think the first Champions Week that I didn't play too good. I got to the semis, I think, against Luke, but I weren't great, so I wanted to put that right, and luckily enough I did.
Then it came to the Champions Week, and in that Group A, you would have a rather interesting tussle with Tom Sykes. You guys cruised away from the field in the first 3 days of that Champions Week in Series 6. And if I remember rightly, I think you got 24 points.
Yeah,
and you didn't even win Group A.
I think Tom was awesome. Like, I think he lost. Did he lose the first game of the last day, and then he beat me, and then I'd lost again to, I think, Cam beat me. But yeah, Tom was really good that week, and luckily enough, I got through to the final and got him back.
When it came to later in that week, you would come up against John O'Shea again. So you against John O'Shea seems to be a bit of a regular fixture in this place.
Yeah, this one weren't too easy. It were a bit of a scrappy game, if I remember rightfully. I do remember the shot. I was just like, get rid of it quick, because we're pumping then, adrenaline's going.
I can't even imagine. I mean, you look at you puffing the cheeks there. That is someone who can't hide their emotions anymore, because you're playing now your 12th day from 13, and your energy levels must be on the floor at this point, but you've still got one more match to go.
Yeah, I could have just lied in the corner and gone to sleep, to be fair. I was ready for my bed.
You did get the better of Tom Sykes in the final game of Series 6, and you would have a really good start. Give yourself that buffer that you needed, and this is one of those shots that is quite iconic in this place, and it's a somewhat forgotten route, isn't it?
Yeah, I never go that way. I don't know what it was. It just popped into my head. Just go for 15s, because did he just miss for 120 or something? And I was just like, just give yourself as much chance as you can, and waiting.
What was going through your mind on the double five? Because as soon as you get that marker just above the double five, you're thinking, just hit that dart and let it nestle in. Just
throw the same dart again. Hopefully it's flying. It did.
You are known as a rather fierce player. Just how much did you have to dig deep in order to have this moment here?
Oh, it was tough 2 week, but towards the end I was really lagging, so I had to dig really, really deep. And Tom's a class player, so I knew I had to bring it.
You would win 2 more weeks as well. Now, there hasn't been another series win since, but you've continued to have success post Series 6. Here you can see you're beating another series champion in Marvin van Velsen, so more success in this place. Is this one of the reasons why you continue to play here and not a great deal elsewhere?
Yeah, well, it's just family life, really. It's been tough with the baby, and Abby's been in and out of hospital lately as well, so it's just tough to get out and play. But here it's perfect for you, so if you can't play your best stuff here, then there's no point in playing.
You beat Cromwell in the previous series as well. Energy levels at the end of a week, does it get any easier?
I think I only played Group B on that one, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it wasn't the greatest of weeks for myself. It was just the best came out at the end. So yeah, it is what it was.
Just one more thing. You've won a series. You've won an abundance of weekly titles here. What sticks in your mind as to what else you want to do in this place?
I want to just carry on doing what I'm doing. I want to have more titles than anyone else, because I hear everyone talking about that. So why not?
Well, you've heard it here. Neil Duff, Steve West, he's coming for you. That was Scott Taylor in the Modus Moments. Scott Taylor won Series 6, and now we're going to go a little bit further back in time, because now we're going to hear from the OG, and that is the barbarian Conan Whitehead.
Welcome back to this special Modus Moments Champions Edition, and we would not be able to do this episode without our first ever Modus Super Series champion, Conan Whitehead. Welcome to Modus Moments. You've had plenty of them here from the start. Before we get into looking at a few of them, just tell us what this place means to you.
Well, it's been, since I've not been on the Pro Tour, it's been basically a home for me for darts. It's where I played the best darts I've been able to the last, 3 years now? So it's just basically kicked my game on back to where I needed it to be to try and get back onto the Pro Tour.
Do you still regard that winning moment when you won Series 1 as your greatest success in the sport?
Yeah, I mean, especially as it's come to like now, how good the MODUS Super Series is. I mean, the players that play in it are the best outside of the pro circuit.
4-0 win in the final. What are your memories of, this start going in and what followed after that?
I've got a few memories of this final. I mean, I don't remember it actually being 4-0, to be honest. I remember the 32 right to step aside, and I do remember this stupid dance I was trying to do. Don't know, some fortnight craze thing, I think it was at the time. But yeah, and I don't remember a hell of a lot of the game. It was just game on and concentrate and get the win in.
Of course, it was the first time that we'd held a Super Series after the move from Southampton. So the big prize, the £20,000. Obviously, it's even more now, £25,000. Yeah. How big was that for you at that time?
At the time, it was around about when my daughter was born, so it's just changed everything. I mean, I was out of work because I was in and out of the hospital for 3 months and running out of money, basically, and that change basically got me back to square one.
It would be a little while until you won a week again. Series 5, you beat Richard North. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't really remember the game. I remember before the game. He was giving it large in the back room, saying he's going to smash me and everything. I said, we'll see about that.
Doesn't sound like Northy.
No, got on stage, and I think we had a little conversation about it then.
And again, you get the trophy in your hand through to Champions Week.
Yeah.
Again, was that maybe a moment where it released a bit of the pressure that you'd had of being the champion? I know you've spoken in the past about having a target.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I said it released that little bit of pressure after being the first season. Everyone wants to beat you again. And it's not a nice place to be, especially when you're playing good darts and you're just getting whacked by people that are not playing well during that day. But it's nice to be back even now. I feel I've lost that now.
One of the things that you do is always entertain the viewers on Pluto TV, and here one of the reasons for that is this particular shot. 50 left, you go for the bull. When we first saw you do it in front of the cameras, it was a bit of a shock, but now it's not a surprise when you do it. Can you just talk us through your thinking on that shot?
Yeah, because the way I look at it, either way you've got to burn a dart. So if you throw a dart at bullseye, and say you missed the 25 and you're at 18, you've still got 2 darts at a double. If you go for a single 18 or a single 10, you've still burnt a dart either way. So to me, bullseye, I've always preferred bullseye over any double on the board. So I fancy myself hitting the ball. If I go 18, 9 times out of 10, I'll miss the 16s. Or if I go 10, I'll miss the top hole. So I prefer going for the bullseye than any other double.
So it's not to show off?
No, I've always done it. I mean, you ask anybody I've played, I've done it up here several times.
Yeah. Has any opponent ever taken it?
Yeah.
The wrong way?
People say you're taking the mickey, like, and I'm like, oh, no, that's just what I do. And once I've explained why I do it,
makes sense.
They understand, and fair enough.
Another thing you've done a lot of on this stage is hitting 180s, huge 180 hitter, including an incredible run you went on once. This one here is 180 number 23, meaning that you'd hit a 180 in every single one of your group games that week. You went on to hit 2 more on finals night as well, so 25 in a row.
Then, I think that was at the sort of time where I knew how many I was on for a run. And every time I hit a 180, I'd be large in it. And then I think I went on to miss one after that, and I was like, oh no. I remember looking up to Paul Nicholson was in the commentary box, and I could just imagine what he was saying.
Yeah, incredible run. Now, something else we're going to show you here is a trend that you started. It's nothing to do with actually throwing the darts. It's what you did when you came back from retrieving them. The Conan Whitehead stare, we'll see it in a moment, and this became a trend. What was going through your mind when that happened?
I don't really know. I know I was annoyed with myself. I think playing against Derek, I remember I missed a few doubles before, and he was just on top of me the whole game, and there's nothing I could do. And I remember looking at the camera, not intentionally, just looking at the camera, sighing, and then the camera didn't move. So I thought, I'm not moving until that camera does. And literally stayed there, so I thought, I'm staying there, I'm not moving first. And that was how it came to about. But if the camera went off first, I would have looked away. But
You've seen loads of people do it since as well.
yeah.
You obviously never intended to start a trend. but
No,
it's
not at all.
Something good to be associated with. But it just brings your personality just really comes alive on this stage, doesn't it, in front of the cameras?
Yeah, I feel relaxed and comfortable on here. I can be myself. And that's the main thing. If you're yourself, you play your best darts. If you're a bit uncomfortable, you're nervous, you don't usually tend to play as well.
Talking about playing your best, you were the protagonist in the best leg of darts we've ever seen on the MODUS Super Series stage. Just do this in your own words. Tell us at every point here what you're thinking.
Well, yeah. All I remember is James kicked off the 180 and I thought, right, stay with him. Followed him. He was basically trying to keep up with his scoring at the time. And to be fair, I wasn't expecting him to hit another 180 back on this. And then, yeah, what happens. But I remember that. I'm thinking, right, I've got to hit this as I've lost the leg. Simple as that.
Now, be honest, he's got 1-4-1. Normally, when an opponent's on 1-4-1, players they kind of want him to hit the 9 dart.
No, I did
you've
not.
got it as well.
I did
Well,
not
you've
want him
answered
to.
that.
I want him to miss. As soon as he hit that 5, I was like, yes, get in. I know you're not supposed to, but at the end of the day, I'm sitting on a 9 as well. So, but I knew this one for one had to go, so I'd lose a leg. I remember my first 3 darts after the 9 as well.
What's that feeling like then when you've just
I was buzzing for
achieved
that. I mean, 'cause it's the only thing I'd not done on the MODUS stage. It's the 9. And when I got that, I was absolutely buzzing. I remember shaking not a leaf after that, and I think I went 26.
Yeah, I mean, we'd only seen something similar in one of the most famous legs ever between the two Michaels in the World Championship final. So to be in a leg that can be kind of put alongside that, it's something special, isn't it?
I mean, at the time, you don't think that, but looking back on it, it was a fantastic leg. But whilst you're involved in that, you don't really take note of how good the leg actually was.
What else would you like to achieve?
Well, like I said, I've always wanted another title. Always wanted another title down here. I'd like to do a treble and all. But that's a long way out. I mean, I've not even done the second. But me and my wife discussed this last night, and I said about Q School. I'd love to go back to Q School, but we've got to wait for the December dreads that the PDC changes all the things. And once they've decided what they're actually finally going to do with Q School, they always change something, and then I'll make my mind up. But as it stands, I've not made my mind up. So I could be here for another 2-3 years. You never know.
Conan, thank you very much. That brings an end to this episode of MODUS Moments with the Series 1 champion Conan Whitehead bringing it to a fitting finale. But do stay tuned for plenty more here on Pluto TV.